In this arid wilderness of steel and stone, I raise up my voice that you may hear.
Hallelujah.
Open your eyes, and you may see, O men of mildewed minds, and listen to me, you bewildered millions. For I stand forth to challenge the wisdom of the world, to interrogate the laws of man.
Interrogate the laws of man?
I request reasons for your golden rule, and why and wherefore of your 10 commandments.
Wherefore those 10 commandments.
Okay, that's
For
good.
none of your printed idols do I bend in acquiescence, and he who saith, "Thou shalt," to me is my mortal foe.
Okay, you
I dip my forefinger in the watery blood of your impotent. I dip my forefinger in the watery blood of your impotent mad redeemer, and write over his thorn-torn brow the true prince of evil, the king of slaves.
So you want reason for the golden rule and the 10 commandments. Is that what it said?
I want the why and wherefore.
In other words, the reason, why and wherefore of the golden rule and the 10 commandments. Here it is. Because the 10 commandments and golden rule promote the highest well-being of all and work to prevent the highest misery of all. The golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You don't want anybody stealing from you, so don't you steal. You don't want anybody cheating you, so don't you cheat. You don't want anybody lying to you, so don't you lie. But most people will lie, steal, and cheat, especially the devil, if he thinks he can get away with it. But the virtuous person refuses to lie, steal, or cheat, even if he's got reason to think he can probably get away with it. So that's the reasoning for it. We need rules. I challenge you. You know, Satan rebelled against God. God's reasonable commandments: thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery. If you're going to reject the golden rule, if you're going to reject God's law, I challenge you or anybody else to come up with something better to replace it with. A better standard to govern man than the biblical standard.
About thou shalt not rape.
That would be included in the commandment, thou shalt not commit adultery. Jesus explained the commandment, thou shalt not commit adultery. He said, whosoever looks upon a woman to lust after her has already committed adultery within his heart. Lust is an unlawful desire. So we need to control our desires. Don't even desire unlawfully what doesn't belong to you. So I've given you a good reason. So again, I challenge anyone to come up with one thing that God requires of man that is unjust or unreasonable or would not promote the highest good of all and work to prevent the highest misery of all.
About slaughtering the Midianites.
And why were they slaughtered?
Worship a false god, but still, I mean, is that
They
deserving
become
the entire populace being
our
slaughtered?
people can become so
Having churches
decadent,
taken for?
so depraved. You know, we had to do terrible things in order to be victorious in World War II.
About killing everyone on the earth in the flood, except for...
And why was that done? By the way, not everyone.
I know, I said everyone except for a couple of
Noah and his family. And God gave them plenty of time not to be destroyed. Noah was 120 years in building that ark, inviting people into the ark. They refused to come in. Of course, when the rains came, the flood came, they wanted in, but it's too late then.
What about when
So he's not forgiving?
that guy
Couldn't have forgiven them? That doesn't seem very important.
his like daughters get raped by townspeople to save those two people he didn't know were angels yet.
Well, the angels did not approve of that. Lot, in a weak moment, offered up his daughters to a gang of homos. Of course, they weren't interested. They wanted the angels, and the angels grabbed Lot by the collar and smote all the homos with blindness. Just like that.
I can still see though. About slavery.
So God intervened to stop it.
Also,
Ancient slavery dies in 1 or 2 days.
what about the Lord destroying Job's family, striking him with leprosy, outcasting him from his home, and then at the end of it being like, oh, it's all good, man. Here, have a new family.
Read the story. God didn't do that. The devil did.
Yeah,
Satan,
God
the one you advocate.
Did God give him a new family? Like, hey, man, here.
Yeah, actually, at the end,
compensation,
God did give him a new
I kill
family.
your family and replace it with, if I killed your family and replace it with a new family, how would you fuck
If my family became a bunch of, family became drunkards and partiers, like Noah's family, yes, God might do that.
I was talking about Job. When did Noah come up in this conversation?
Why would God let the devil go down to Georgia, man? Like,
The devil went down to Georgia.
why would he let the devil go down to Georgia?
Georgia.
State of Georgia, you know,
Some song or what?
yeah.
I haven't heard it.
He was looking for a soul to steal. It's way behind.
It has become fashionable to concentrate on the betterment of the mind and spirit and to consider giving pleasure to one's body, the very shell without which the mind and spirit could not exist, to be coarse, crude, and unrefined. As of late, most people who deem themselves emancipated have left normalcy only to transcend into idiocy. By the way of bending their beliefs around to meet their neighbors, subsisting on wild and exotic diets like brown rice and tea, they feel they've arrived at a great state of spiritual development.
Yeah, God doesn't mind you gratifying your bodily appetite, your appetite for food.
Apparently he does.
No, the sin is gluttony. God doesn't mind and wants you to gratify your sexual appetite within marriage. But not just, you are too focused on the physical. You need to focus on the mental. Now I know most of you girls would rather have an orgasm than a bright idea. But I think in the long run, these guys aren't going to give you orgasms anyway, girls. You'll be sexually frustrated. And most of you boys would rather have an ejaculation than a new thought, a new idea. See, but most of you don't do much thinking. But as I would think you were supposed to be intellectuals here, and you're supposed to be here primarily to develop your mind, not get screwed.
If I may. The simple fact of the matter is that the very thing which has led this type of person to a faith which preaches abstinence is indulgence. Their compulsive masochism is the reason for choosing a religion which advocates self-denial, which not only advocates self-denial, but praises it for them. And you've been led to that by a path of compulsive indulgence. You don't have to be compulsive and indulgent. You can indulge in moderation. You don't have to be either a raving ascetic, a hypocrite, or a monster.
I'm not a raving ascetic, believe me. And I enjoy the pleasures of life very much.
The more abuse they can stand, the holier they become. Don't feed the flames.
But it is, see, here's the, what Jesus taught was often in paradoxes. Who knows what a paradox is? Paradox is a saying that on the surface seems to be contradictory, but as you look deeper into what is said, it's not a contradiction. For instance, Jesus said, "He that loves his life shall lose it, and he that loses his life in this world, the same shall keep it unto life eternal." It's through self-denial, in other words, that we ultimately find self-fulfillment. And I think all of you know that through experience. Think of the times you've had the most sense of well-being. Perhaps when you helped someone. You made a sacrifice and you helped someone, and at the end of the day, you felt pretty good about yourself. You thought, I made a difference today. On the other hand, think of the times you've taken advantage of someone. you cheated someone, you exploited someone. Well, if you have any conscience left, at the end of the day, you feel badly about yourself. You think, I should not have behaved that way. That was very selfish. So live the way you were designed to live, for God and others. And through that, you'll find self-fulfillment, or it's what psychologists would call self-actualization.
Hey, I mean, you keep saying design, man.
On the other hand, the life of self-indulgence leads to frustration. I want to sing a song for you. This song was voted the most popular song of the 20th century. Does anyone have any idea what it might be? No, not Amazing Grace.
Highway to Hell.
It was by the Rolling Stones. Went like this. I've tried, and I've tried, and I've tried, but I can't get nowhere. I can't get nowhere. I can't get no satisfaction. Now, why does the song become popular? It becomes popular because it has a message a lot of people can relate to. The 20th century was you had the sexual revolution. You had very self-indulgent people, prosperous time, and yet so people can relate to be how unsatisfied they are. Mick Jagger, multi-millionaire, fame, fortune, everything money can buy. The most popular song is talking about how unsatisfied he is. Because obviously he's living a life committed to self-indulgence. And you won't find happiness in that. It's axiomatic. You've all said money can't buy happiness. It's something we intuitively know.
I would much rather cry in a mansion.
Well, money can help.
I bought quite a few things yesterday.
You can't buy happiness. So it's through. Now, Mick Jagger and I are both 70 years old. And I've actually got better moves than he does. So I'm living a life of self-denial. I don't need drugs. Why do people take drugs? Obviously, know the state of their consciousness. The next question you need to ask yourself, what's wrong with your normal or natural state of consciousness? Well, something is missing. Why do people get drunk? Obviously, to alter the state of their consciousness. You need to ask yourself, what's wrong with your normal or natural state of consciousness? I'm a man filled with the Holy Ghost. That's what makes me different from you.
Brother Jay.
Your lives are empty, yes.
I'm an atheist that doesn't drink, do drugs, or any of that noise.
Good for him. He's, go on record. Joshua, is it?
Yes.
Joshua is an atheist. He does not take drugs. You don't drink to the point of intoxication. Are you messing around with these naughty girls? What? Girlfriend is.
I need more. I don't speak English.
Are you
Having
sexually intimate with her?
Yes.
Well,
There's my immorality.
he is a bad boy.
No immorality.
I hope for him. It's your immorality. Did he give her sex? You know, I found when I was sexually active outside of marriage, when I was a fornicator, it seemed like the more I got laid, the hornier I became. And I think this is a common experience. Because here's the problem. Self-appetite is insatiable. People who live for money, they never get enough. They crave for more. People who are into the drugs and alcohol, they always crave stronger drugs, more booze. They're never satisfied. They're frustrated because they're living for the wrong end. Live for the glory of God. You need to live to serve others, and you'll find fulfillment. You'll find meaning. You'll find peace of mind. You'll find happiness. You'll find purpose. You people ever think about the meaning of life? Why you're here?
Who's got to carry the one, man?
You sign your life?
No, because most of you aren't thinkers, you're feelers. We're designed to think.
That's why we're here. Yeah, we kind of
Meaning of life.
We are in college because we know how to think.
Oh, you're just here, mostly in a party.
Why you was so
I don't think I would drop several $1,000 just for
Not here.
You know how much it costs to go here? I think we get just
Well, yeah, most of you aren't paying your own way.
Raise your hand if you're paying your own way.
Your parents are paying the way. Right now, you're taking a lot of student loans. You're not thinking about the future too much. You're going to graduate. A lot of you got majors like theology or psychology or history or whatever. You're not going to be able to find good employment probably when you graduate.
You're not judging your assumptions, but you're not asking the question. You said what kind of majors are we in? I'm in a physics and science.
Okay, he may get a job.
I can try it. I
Yeah.
have to work.
He's a chemical engineer.
He may get a job.
So why does that make me better than somebody else?
Right.
Well,
He's
so wait, what degrees do you have?
really
He's English majors. I did not have a practical major. I majored in social studies, which is nothing but a guise for brainwashing people with socialism.
So what do you think you're doing right now?
I'm not a
No, he did.
I'm trying to tune you into capitalists at the very
Wait,
least.
you know Jesus said, get rid of all your stuff. That sounds like a socialist to me. He said, give it all to
Well,
the
you
poor.
don't understand what socialism if you think that's socialism. Giving away all
What's
your
your
stuff.
Perfect
The
capitalist
textbook
society.
definition of socialism
Truly a capitalist.
I mean,
is
there's
government
there's
ownership
China,
and
they're
or
all
control of the means of production, as opposed to capitalism, which is private ownership and control of the means of production.
Socialism is
If
going
you want to give everything away, it's fine.
Everything else
Give
is
your own money away. Socialists like Obama, he's reaching into other people's pockets to give their money away.
Wait. Socialism is only to government control of the major means of production. Everything else is privately owned. I said socialism is only government control of the major means of production.
He wants to qualify it the major means of production.
Stop cutting me off. I said everything else is privately owned.
Okay, who defines what the major means of production are? He wants to socialize medicine. Really about a strength of our industry.
Wait, you're not collecting social security right
You have
now.
to make money off of sick people? That's pretty sad. We already have it.
Largely socialized.
Right.
This is a socialist institution.
That's all socialism, bro.
Public schools,
Yeah.
public libraries, those are all socialist.
Yeah, right. Yeah, public schools, public libraries, public taxes. So let's privatize these institutions.
Privatize what? So they can make money off us? At the expense of
Yeah, it's good to make money.
At the expense of others. Like a church.
See, money, wealth is something you have to create, you have to make, you have to produce. Socialists never produce any wealth. Because all they do is redistribute existing wealth. They never bake any pies, so to speak. They just want to divide the existing pies into smaller and smaller and smaller pieces. Socialism is nothing but legal theft. More productive society, redistribute wealth amongst the unproductive and the less productive. Free. Capitalism is free. Socialism makes us all wards of the state.
Wait, who's free?
You see, it's not the role of the state to be your provider. It's not the role of the state to provide health care, to provide food, to provide clothing, to provide shelter.